Welcome back to our Handyman channel. Today we are gonna be fixing a hole in the wall right here. Stay tuned because we're gonna be using the California patch and much more tools, including this tool and all of these tools. So first I want to say that this is a very easy project because if there's any leaking pipes, anything you want to check, don't say, oh, I don't want to make a hole in the wall. It's actually very easy. And actually, we're not demonstrating, but we could demonstrate. So we got in the wall, we got a hole in the wall. It's not on purpose, but we have a very easy and good way to fix it. And sometimes the easy way is the best way, sometimes it isn't. This time it is. So now we're going to use the California patch process, which goes like this. But before I can show you, I need the California patch. So the first step is to cut out the damaged part of the wall. So I want to tell you actually something. So whenever there's something that impacts a wall, like say this, the damage actually comes a couple inches further. I will do around here, we could do here, but not less than this. So we're going to be cutting here with our high quality contractor's knife. If you wanted to see the company, if you want to buy this, read this, it says Olfa. So now we're going to turn this to the left and ½ inch to the left, to the right. And then we cut. Remember, we don't have to cut all the way through. This is sharp. So now I'm going to do the same on the other side. Actually, it's easy to start like this. It's a little hard to find the spot. So that's why we give it a couple passes. It's actually much easier than it looks on camera for some reason. Remember, this is drywall and it will look perfect no matter if it doesn't look like a perfect rectangle, but it's supposed to look like a square or a rectangle. Oops. Well, we can patch that up. And like steady hands. Now this reveals the part of the California patch. The California patch and the drywall look so similar that I thought the drywall boards are the California patch. So we're gonna be, this reveals a part of the drywall. So now that I have done this, I'm using this right now and demonstrating because this is gonna come out right now. We're gonna extend this out a little bit. And then we're gonna use this as a saw basically. Oops. And this we're going to throw in the trash. First I'm going to do something in the trash on camera. So now I want to show you how this looks inside. Looks pretty cool. Looks like some kind of white sponge or concrete. Right? So because all this did not fully come out, we're going to continue using this as a saw. Wait, why did this come out? Maybe I didn't tighten enough. We're just here to show that you should never do things too fast. And yes, this goes in the trash. Okay. So you use my hands to put all this material in the trash. Because I put the trash right here, it's pretty easy. This is actually, you're not supposed to rip this out in the California patch method, but this you do. Some parts of the California patch method you don't. I'll use my knife actually to cut off the paper. The reason is because I don't want to damage any of the wall in the back. As you can see, here's something here. Oops, I'm not supposed to be pulling that out. This is the damage part where we're replacing. And we're careful, we don't want this to fall in there either. So this is actually an illogical box, so I gotta be careful by not touching the cables in the back. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to put this in clean. Oh, I can't get that. And now I have a perfect rectangle. Right? Okay, why am I still doing what I said I have a perfect rectangle? I mean square? I don't know. Now I'm checking my knife and I'm going to put this away for safety. Safety first! Why does no one say hashtag safety first? I don't know. So the next thing we need to do is take our drywall and cut it to size. So we got here some old drywall. We're going to cut it to size, but we're going to add like 2 inches. Can't you tell why? Because that's what the California patch method. And you might be like, how? That doesn't work. Well, it does. So I'll explain when I get there, because I don't want to be too busy at one time. So this looks really cool, how you do the next part. Oh yeah. And then, so now for the back, we're going to cut the tape off. From the bottom up. Oops. Because that's more safe. And now we got this off. So now we got, oh, never mind. Let's pass this. So I believe we cut off, this side, right? So we did that on horizontal, as you could see. Now we're going to do the vertical. So I'm going to put this 2 inches from here. 2 inches on the top here. Now we're going to do 2 inches on the bottom. Now we made the cut. We're going to put our knife away. Final time. I'm going to put our knife away. And then we're going to break it again. I think this is what we have. This is what we don't have. Now I'm going to use my knife to cut it again. Now we're putting our knife away. So just measure it. So this is actually the fun part. We're going to make the California patch. We didn't make this, but we cut it and we're going to make it. So the trick is we cut from our back, like here. We cut to our final dimensions. It's hard to find, but when we find, we cut on the back till we get our final dimensions here, but we leave this white, and this is going to be our tape. So now we're holding it tight. We're going to just go just a tiny bit inside. And same thing on the other side. So we're going to make this deeper on the floor because it's very hard to do this. We're folding with this being in my left hand. Because I'm a righty, which means I'm right-handed. Now I did the verticals, now we're going to do the horizontals. So now we're going to do the same thing, but now it's horizontal. Oops, I can fix that. So now we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. And now we're going to do this deeper. So now we're going to only remove the gypsum, not the white paper, which one side done. This you don't need. So now we've done one side. I'll show you how we're going to do this later. Now we're going to take these two pieces off the same way I just did. Look, this one is... Ooh, wow, that was unexpected. No. Maybe yes. Don't need this. Now we got this. But we're not finished. Say how we're not finished. So I'm on this side. So now we got our square. So next we need to... So this is our California patch. So this is how it's going to be looking like. I'm just testing if this is going to fit. You also should test it. Fits. So this is how it's going to go. Of course, we're going to paint it. Not only does it fit, it's a perfect fit because it fits perfectly to the fold. It's not like I had to shove it. Or added some kind of magical effects on some kind of crazy video editing app. So I'm going to bring this in the wall for now to rest. So the fun part is we get to be using our QuickSet joint compound. It's much lighter than concrete because I have used concrete and it's been pretty heavy and I had to use help. So the cool thing about it is we mix it with water and it sets. And the other cool thing, you know what this is called? It's called a hawk. It's professional. It even says hawk here. If you want to buy it, it says Marshalltown. Marshalltown, I don't know. So we put our compound here in the middle. Then we add water and then we mix it. So now we're going to add the joint compound. So this is basically going to work. We're going to make a volcano water joint compound. So the middle is going to be water and then we have like here the joint compound and then we bring it in like this. But before this, I want to tell you how a joint compound works. This is called a QuickSet joint compound. The use of this product is very good. And don't worry, this is not a sponsor. This works. It sets within 20 minutes. So it's actually very light, much lighter than concrete. Because I need help lifting concrete. This, I can lift much easily. So the other use of this is it can be sanded much easier than the compound that is already pre-mixed in the buckets. So now I'm going to introduce the product. I'm going to take my supplies and I'm going to be mixing them in. So I already got my joint compound here. Remember, this is very fine. So I'm going to put my joint compound onto the hog and then I'm going to use my 6-inch knife to make a volcano. Be careful because this is very, very, very fine. You can't get it in your mouth, can't get it in your eyes, can't get it in your nose. We're not going to do a professional job and we're not going to let this happen. So I'm going to take the tail end and make a volcano. You can also say DJ crash on a mountain. So I'm going to pour the water in the center, and then I'm going to start to mix it in. Now I put some water in, now I'm going to mix it. Wait, it's kind of dry. Now I add some water, now I'm going to continue to mix. Now the thing is that it's a little more sticky. It's texture. It's basically like gypsum because this is gypsum. And if you now it's an ice cream, make it tasty, just like ice cream. And if you want to make ice cream, go ahead to the other videos on my channel just to see how I make ice cream, and you can even learn. Now their compound is ready. I'm going to apply it to the wall. And it says in 20 minutes, as I said. First I'm going to apply it to the inside of the wall. Now we really have to watch because it's starting to set. We're careful to be saving some for the patch. Now we're going to apply this to our patch. Turn it on because I have to try to show you guys. I'm trying to show this to you, so it's much harder. Now apply compound to the patch and the wall. We're going to put it in. Over a knife, and we're going to very gently press it into place. Now that our patch is in place, we're going to smooth out the compound again. So we're going to weigh this at an angle, and we're going to let this compound dry. The good thing is it sets really quickly. That's why we had to brush in the first place. So it's going to probably dry very soon. So now we're going to let this set for a few minutes, and then we're going to put on our second layer. But meanwhile, we're going to be focusing on our second layer. So we give it around 10 minutes to dry. It's nice and solid now. We're going to give it a second layer. We're going to be using our 12-inch knife to make it nice and smooth. What I like to call it is feather and edge. You press on one side more and then the other, but not the middle. Feathering an edge is a nice technique that professionals use to make great smooth lines on the wall. So same thing, we're going to make a volcano. We're going to add a hole, we're going to add some water. So now I'm going to be using the tail end of my knife to make a volcano. Water. Now we're going to add a little bit of water, and then we're going to mix it. Water. Because Daddy's actually my cameraman and helper. So if you hear me asking for something, it's me asking my cameraman. And I choose to keep it on camera. And don't forget to subscribe. I only have like 100 subscribers as of the time of filming, and I really feel like I deserve more. I want some water. Not too much. Oh, the water will escape. And water, please. Water, please. So I want a little more. Water, please. And no, this is not too much water. Now I'm going to switch sides as the pourer. Actually, I'm not. My daddy wants to do it all and everything. Wants me to do everything. But sometimes you have to be the pourer too, right? Uh-oh, my crater too tiny. Alright. Just a little more. And we're good. As you can see, this is not absorbing any more water, and it's just rushing out. Which means it's full. So now, let it cream is nice and creamy. I'm now going to apply it small amounts, nicely up and down. I'm applying this to the wall. So the point is to make sure the compound is nice flat to the wall. So it's not. So we're going to be sanding it after the third layer, right? Oh, actually after this layer. On a very nice surface, I'm going to apply a little bit more. And then I'm going to be using the 12-inch knife. So now I'm going to use a 12-inch knife to smooth out the lines. Before I have to do what I am doing already. Get it off. So now I'm going to go very gently. I'm going to feather the edge. So we just finished our second layer. We're going to let this dry and then see you when it dries. And then we're going to sand it and do a third layer. So I'm going to clean up my tools. I'm going to give this 20-30 minutes to set. And then I'm going to see you in 20-30 minutes. Welcome back. It's been an hour since our second coat was applied. It's dried and I can touch it without getting anything on my hands. That means it's time to sand our second layer. So for sanding, this time we're using two tools. We're using this and this. So this tool is called a hand sander. There is a mechanical one that does by electricity, but we're not doing it this time. And here's the sandpaper that we're going to be using. This is 100 grit. So we're going to use only 100 grit sandpaper for now. Then when we're done with the third coat, we're going to be using 100 and 220. So the purpose of the 220 is for a smooth, fine finish. So you can paint over it and it won't be any trouble. But for a second coat, we're going to be using only our 100 grit. So I'm going to take out one sheet, then I'm going to install it in the hand sander. So before we can sand, we have to do this basically. I have to bend the sandpaper over. So now I'm going to put this inside and then I'm going to clamp it down. It's not easy clamping down with not as many hands. And for the other end, I'm going to clamp it in, which I already done. Now I got to tighten everything. Pretty tight. So now I'm going to be sanding and I want to remove all the surface imperfections. You should not be breathing in gypsum, which is normally used in wall filler, and it feels like this one is. So just to be safe, we're going to put on our mask. This is a 95 mask. Pretty fine. Now it's time to apply a third coat. Pretty smooth, but I bet I could use a third coat, especially if I go over here. Or these bumps don't look very good, but I can feel them. So we want the perfect installation. We want a third layer. So that means a little drywall compound and water. And remember, the third layer is going to be much thinner and smaller. Because it's meant to be a decoration layer. Correction, finishing layer. Like look over here or over here. See? No bumps. That's what the finishing layer does. So all that changes, there's going to be a little less compound because it's the finishing layer. And it's meant just to look better. Daddy, can I have some water? Please. Just don't understand how that possibly happened. Not yet. I want some water. For about how much this time? Not yet. Not yet. There isn't that much, which means to make careful holes. Right. Yeah. Be careful. So you make a volcano and then you put everything that's outside and try to put it in. Remember to wait a little bit sometimes if you need it. Remember when it gets a little closer to being like sour cream or creamy, it'll be helpful if you do this. You see what about a volcano, the water rushes away. What was that? I think that's enough. I'm actually gonna get this to put inside the wall. I think we have enough water, do we? And we need more. Wait, not yet. Wait, no. There, yes. I'm careful. Oh, I already went out of the mold. It's not a mold, but you understand. Huh. As you can tell, this isn't absorbing any water, and the water is pushing away. That probably means it's enough. So now I'm going to gently put this on with my 6-inch knife, and then I'm going to feather the edges. As you can tell, I want to make this as vertical angle as possible because that prevents most air bubbles. As you can see, just barely any air bubbles. I try to do that in beginning, but this time it's the most important, and you cannot let a single air bubble in. But it's out of center flux if you do it too flat. So that's why you have to create a balance. So as you can see, I'm applying this, and after this, I'm going to be sanding again. And don't forget, I'm also going to be doing the 200 grit sandpaper. I think it's now time for the 12-inch knife. So now I'm going to use the 12-inch knife to smooth things out and feather the edge. As you can see, it looks like it is basically already solidified. It has not, but it's very close to solidifying. So I just applied our third layer. I'm going to let this dry overnight. I'm going to see it tomorrow while sanding it for the third layer. And then probably sometime off camera later, we're going to be painting it. I'll show you our final product. Maybe we'll do a follow-up when we're done painting. This is very nice to be a drywall repairer. And my favorite thing about it is that you get to spread it and then you get to sand it. So this is the first time I use a drywall knife, drywall hawk, drywall everything basically, drywall powder, everything. The drywall, the California patch. See you tomorrow. Remember, it's still in the same video. Welcome back. Now we're working on our third layer because it dried overnight and this is very solid. So you may be asking, why do you have a big bubble? I always, when I have it, I use it. So what I'm going to be doing, so you can see, you can't see it yet, but there's a big bulge. You can like kind of feel it if you were actually here, but you're not. And we have to actually test it with this big bubble. So as you can see, I can put it here and I can rock it back and forth. And you can see that basically a big bump right here where I'm holding. That means it's time to sand. So this is actually 100 grit sandpaper, and we're going to take nice swabs to get the bump off. Now I'm going to check to make sure it's leveled. If it's correct, that means we're done with sanding. That means later we can... So actually, if this is perfectly leveled, we can start painting when it's fully done, which is still a little bit more rocking, which means just a little bit left. Now I'm going to actually check the other areas as well. This is no rocking whatsoever, so we only have to do this side. I actually feel that it's mostly over here. Now we're going to recheck. Perfect. So now that we did 110, I just to round things down to like the portion. We want things to be nice and smooth. It's already smooth, but we want it a little smoother. So that's why we're going to get 220 grit. Actually, I already have it right here. There's 100 grit sandpaper. So this is actually 220 grit sandpaper. And it's actually the same company that is the 100 grit sandpaper. It's basically the same thing, but look at this. As you can tell, it looks more like window screen. In fact, I think it is window screen that has sand particles on top of it. But it's not. It just looks like it. This looks like window screen or mesh screen, but black. Really cool, right? And you know why it has these holes? So like any dust can just participate down and to help this from getting too hot. Say you're not using a hand sand, or say you're actually doing it with machines. Because sometimes you are. This time we're not, but the company doesn't know that. So just put on our 220 grit sandpaper. We're going to do our final touches. And see you in a little bit. Don't forget your mask. We're going to do the rest off camera. I'll see you when we're done. So it's so amazing that I can turn this drywall into a wall with the California patch method. It's actually the best method. I think it's the only method, but I can't be certain. Actually, it isn't. So thank you for Daddy for teaching me all this, because I knew barely any of it. Well, I just knew walls are made of drywall and just put it there, tape it, whatever. Just do all the taping behind, and then you just paint it, and then it becomes seamless. That's close, but not it. And also, if you wanted to see what, so now we're finished. Basically, we're gonna paint it. I don't think soon, but we're gonna paint it eventually. I think we're gonna be painting it, this room, some cooler color like blue, red, maroon, purple, some darker color. And bye.